What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another Sports Talk on Tap video. Where here you can find daily uploads Monday through Friday covering all the four major sports teams, or sports leagues, whether that be MLB, NFL, NBA, or NHL. And in today's MLB episode, obviously, got to talk about games because it's the only current season in. But for fans, wondering, quickly NFL will be approaching. But first, Nick, it's only a credit to start off with my team yesterday. Minnesota Twins go on to defeat the Phillies in Game 1 of the series 7-2. It looked a little bit rough. This game was in a rain delay, so it was supposed to start like 7:10, didn't start until 9:10, so we had like a 2-hour rain delay, so that was kind of frustrating. But looked ugly early. Bryce Harper homers, 2-run homer off of Bailey Ober. I was thinking, oh, shit, yeah. Get ready for this 12-2, hop on the podcast tomorrow and kind of, go on about the day. But to Minnesota's credit, they responded very nicely. Big games from Ryan Jeffers, Manny Margot. Willie Castro had some big hits. Same with Carlos Santana. Just guys throughout the lineup were able to get it done. Max Kepler especially. And, it's a big credit. I think this team, just kind of knows, or they just found a way to win and stay the ship. I was ready to talk about a sweep, but you win this game. Bailey Ober, shout out him, 7 innings. He made one bad pitch all game, really. And, 7 innings, 2 runs against the Phillies. You're taking that 10 out of 10 times, even if your offense doesn't give you any runs. So at the end of the day, big credit. You take Game 1 after, losing 2 to the Brewers. You just kind of want to get back on track. And you got to find ways to stay the ship. And, you could win even just one more. It'd probably be tonight just because I believe tomorrow's game is going to be a Louis Varland, David Festa type of game where it's going to be ugly, possibly, and Philly explodes for 12 runs. So even take a shot tonight. If you can just win 2 out of 3, I mean, that would be insane, considering just all the injuries. But, hopefully Royce Lewis and Miranda are back on the horizon and Correa soon as well. But, the offense, even last, Nick, even though they lost yesterday or 2 days ago, Sunday, they still put up 7 runs. They're just still finding a way to contribute to run-winning baseball. And when you get good pitching like that, even against the Phillies, you're a good team. And I was just kind of curious. I went on the Phillies Instagram, and even then, there's still a lot of fans, calling the Phillies like frauds. On their own page, they're like, we need to get, this, and this to be, taken seriously. And I'm like, thinking, it's a long regular season. I do think, every team like the Phillies needs some help, in the bullpen or something. But at the end of the day, you still have a great offense. They were, talking about a top bat, but, it's still going to take time. And that's really all that matters. It's just a long grinding season where you're just kind of hoping to get through these games. So a little bit of overreaction that I was not expecting to see from, the team that still has one of the best records in baseball. But, you expect big things from this team. And obviously, not being this injured Twins team is, concerning. And I believe also the pitcher for the Phillies, Suarez, kind of is on a little bit of a slump right now. And so some Phillies fans are frustrated with that when they realize their starting pitcher that pitches 200-plus innings deals with a slump. They're kind of surprised by that. So, Phillies fans, be patient. You guys are still, the best team in baseball, one of the best lineups, one of the best pitching staffs. But, shout out the Twins because, Nick, I was on here yesterday talking about potential sweep, and we at least win one and now can, win one out of these next 2 somehow. I'd take that 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah, that's a big win for, just the team's morale and the fans, and knowing you can beat one of their top pitchers. Ranger Suarez has been one of the best pitchers in baseball this year. So to be able to go out there and
but he's not allowed to go through a slump, according to Phillies fans.
No, but that's more so just, I think.
Nah, I know. Phillies fans are passionate. I respect Phillies fans.
It's a lot like, they remind me a lot of Boston fans because The Red Sox are having a pretty solid season, but right now it feels like the sky is falling because they've lost 4 straight. But I'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, it's mainly just the Phillies are the best team in baseball, I'd say. So winning is expected, and in a city like Philadelphia, if you don't win
Eagles,
every day, they're gonna be pointing out every little issue you have. And if there's one, if the Phillies have one flaw, it's their bullpen. It's not the strongest, in the
and
league.
I
But
agree they could get an arm, but I was hearing bats, stuff, and it's like, I
no,
mean, guys, come on.
they have, in my opinion, probably the best lineup, and the Twins probably have the second or third best lineup behind, and I would probably put them maybe behind the Dodgers, but even the Dodgers have, streaky guys. The Twins just
I would say the Dodgers, if you were to look, because we had this debate, I believe, like a week or two ago. If you look at 1 through 9, or sorry, not even 1 through 9. If you look 1 through 5, when both teams are fully healthy, you probably take the Dodgers. But when you look 6 through 9, and you have a guy like Byron Buxton batting 7th or 8th in your lineup with an 829 OPS right now, that's kind of insane. And just the depth on the bench that they can provide. I think the Twins are you could argue, I think maybe top 3 most deepest lineups in baseball, and maybe top 1 deepest if you were to go off bench utility guys as well.
Yeah, the Twins can hit you from any point. There's no hole in their lineup where it's like you want to get to, the 6, 7, 8 hitters because these guys aren't going to touch it. It's like any guy can go 3 for 5 any given day, which is what makes the Twins so
Max
dangerous.
Kepler did yesterday, 2 for 3, hitting like 8th or 9th in the lineup. So huge credit to the Twins on that front. But we obviously – what were you saying?
I was going to say just another thing I want to, tip my cap to for the Twins is their bullpen. Like, Bailey Ober pitched what? He pitched 7 innings, so that's a very solid outing. But you still got to close the door. Like, and against the lineup like the Phillies, where they're known to have like 3 or 4 really clutch hitters who come up in big spots, to just be able to shut the door on those guys is,
Cole Sands, did his thing, and we needed that from a guy like Cole Sands because obviously Griffin Jacks went twice. He went Sunday, so he couldn't pitch today because I think he went Saturday as well.
Yeah. He probably hit like a pitch limit or something. They want to keep.
He pitched Saturday and Sunday, so he wasn't pitching today. And I think they were probably going to get ready for Duran for the 9th, but the Twins scored 3 in the 8th to make it a 5-run game. Right. So pretty much Cole Sands able to close the door, no sweat. So now, if it is a close game tonight, you can use Jackson, Duran, and Alcala, which I love. So yeah, Twins bullpen for the most part was a little rough in the Brewers series, but bounces back tonight. Overall, or bounce back last night, I should say, because times are always getting mixed up. But with that being said, there was also other games to talk about, but yeah, definitely probably the game of the night. Just, for me, this podcast and Twins fans. But we also have some other games, to talk about. My fear is it's up. Yeah.
I've got a bone, man.
I will say this before I'll let you, talk for the most part. I just will say this. Twins lost game 1 of a series to the Athletics in a couple weeks ago, and it was coming off them getting like swept in a 3-game, and then they would go on to win like 5 in a row. So sky definitely isn't falling for the Red Sox. Just I would say this win the next 2, but I was even surprised it went 12 because when I went to bed, I was seeing the Rockies were already up 4-zip with more runs threatening to come in. So Red Sox offense getting it done, but bullpen or what's wrong, Nick? Is Tanner Houck a little rattled from the All-Star game? You gotta let me know.
It could be that. It could be the semi-short rest from the All-Star break, where it could be the Coors effect. It was that one blow-up inning in the 3rd inning where he just he gave up like 6 straight hits. I think something crazy.
It was one bad inning.
It was a bad inning, but he ended up, I think, going 6 innings, which still is pretty helpful for the bullpen talks. But the bullpen is it's by far, the most glaring issue since the All-Star break, because they've had leads in every single game since the All-Star break, and the bullpen has blown them all. So last night, even you get into the 10th inning, get those two, getting one run in those extra innings with that ghost runner is like good, but you want to get two because that's really puts the pressure on. They get two, bullpen goes out there, gives up 2-run home run, tie game. It was almost a repeat of what they did against the Dodgers two nights ago. And then 11th inning, nothing. Bullpen shuts the door, so nothing. Then they get a run back in the 12th. You figure, okay, let's just lock this thing down. Nope, blow the game. It's just it's so frustrating to watch as a fan who's just, we need to see you got to get back on track, because you can't let a road trip like this be what derails your season. You went into this road trip 5 games over 500, or 11 games over 500, sorry. Now you're what? 8 or 7 games over 500. So, the teams like the Twins are still winning. They're winning games, which is putting more and more pressure on you to stay winning, because if you don't, a team's going to jump you and you're going to fall out of the base. What's that?
Did the Royals play yesterday? Did they win?
I believe they won. I can't remember. Here, I can check.
Yeah. So the Royals are kind of, either way, they just, you sweep the White Sox. Yeah. So the Royals have won like 4 in a row since coming out of the All-Star break. So, yeah. But it's still a long season. You just got to go grind through it. Just win the next 2 games. But, if even then, it's a long season, but you need to win series against Colorado and, stuff like that.
These are the teams you need to beat if you want to get in the playoffs.
Because then it just puts more pressure on you to beat a team, that may be a lot tougher to, ask you to sweep, the Tampa Bay Rays, who are a 500 baseball team. It's just like, it's asking a lot from, a team that, who knows. But overall, for me, it's just, Tyler O'Neill been sneakily so good this season for the Red Sox. I'm just kind of flying under the radar.
The past, 4 games, it's been him and Jarren Duran have been the only offense. Rafael Devers, I know he had an RBI last night. It was like an extra inning, sack fly. It wasn't anything, insane.
Either way, even if he's in a little slump, a 940 OPS is crazy.
He had it up to almost 1,000, like right before the All-Star break. That's when he was, scorching hot, and he kind of cooled down a little bit. But I just need to see more because it's not even the lineup. The lineup's been hitting the whole after the All-Star break. Like they've had,
they put up runs on the Dodgers.
Exactly. It's the bullpen that simply cannot hold on to a lead. And I know they have Chris Martin's on the IL right now. Slayton's on the IL right now, and he's been like another really big piece for this bullpen. So that's 2 really big pitchers, but like somebody's got to step up. Like you need somebody to step up. You can't just be like, oh, we don't have those guys, we're screwed. We can't hold this lead. Like, no, somebody's got to step up. Kenley Jansen can't go out there every single time, and even when he went out there, he blew the lead.
You're right, but like I said, just win 2 out of 3. Who do they have going tonight? Is there like a preview screen we can pull up just the games?
Yeah, I'll pull up.
Yeah, so obviously, Tuesday, every team should be back in action. Obviously, some teams get rest on Mondays. But, with that being said, we hop into today's action. Red Sox, Rockies, 8:40 start. Who are the Red Sox turning to today?
Cooper Criswell, who kind of looked shaky pitched against the Royals last time. He looked a little shaky, but in Coors Field, like I don't trust any of these pitchers in Coors because the Red Sox pitchers give up homers. And we saw Cutter Crawford gave up 5 homers at Dodger Stadium. So I know he's not pitching this series, but I think Nick Pivetta will be tomorrow. So maybe he'll really get us a win, but
yeah, we'll see. But as we head into tonight, we have to face Zach Wheeler, so that's gonna be a tough task, but anything's possible. Simeon Richardson going on the mound. Mariners lost to the Angels yesterday. Thankfully, though, for them, the Athletics shut out the Astros. Low-key, sneakily, It's not been a great season record-wise, but the Athletics have had some interesting pop-up games where they go for like 18 runs, I feel like once a week, or, shut out a team like the Astros. So shout out the Athletics, still, trying to end the year on a bang in the second half. But, Mariners, Astros dealing for first place right now, but the Mariners need some offensive run support help for their team. And then obviously we have the California late night series, Giants, Dodgers. And then interesting series, I think, Nick, that will start tonight. I don't think it started yesterday. Pirates, Cardinals for wild card and just NL Central standings. I think that'll be a very fun series to look at as Paul Skeens takes them out. So I think that'll be very fun to watch as well.
Yep. That's anytime Paul Skeens pitches, he's gonna draw more eyes. So that's gonna be fun.
And that's a big series just for series purposes.
Biggest start of the season for him, probably, against the playoff team. I know he started against the Dodgers, but the Pirates weren't really in playoff contention at that point. So this is like a big start for him to keep them going.
And then Subway Series, Mets, Yankees. That's always fun. So we'll see with that, especially with the Mets getting hot recently. This has a lot of impact for playoff teams like them as well. With that being said, should be a very fun and exciting time as we, approach the second half of the season where teams are looking to make strides. Can the Twins take the series tonight? Can the Red Sox bounce back? We'll be here to talk about it in tomorrow's episode. But as always, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.